Again he entered the synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand. And they watched Jesus to see if he would heal him on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. And he said to the man with the withered hand, "Come here." And he said to them, "Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath, or to harm, to save life, or to kill?" But they were silent. And he looked at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart. And he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees immediately went out and held counsel with the Herodians how to destroy him. Jesus went out with his disciples to the sea, and a great crowd followed from Galilee and Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, and beyond the Jordan, and around Tyre and Sidon. When the great crowd heard all that he was doing, they came to him, and he told his disciples to have a boat ready because of the crowd, lest they crush him. For he had healed many, so that all who had diseases pressed around him to touch him, and whenever the unclean spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." And he strictly ordered them not to make him known. And he went up on the mountain and called to him those whom he desired, and they came to him. He appointed 12 whom he named apostles, that they might be with him, and he might send them out to preach, and have authority to cast out demons. He appointed the 12. Simon, to whom he gave the name Peter, James and John, the sons of Zebedee, to whom he gave the name Boanerges, sons of thunder. Andrew and Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas and James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus and Simon the Zealot, Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Then he went home, and the crowd gathered again, so that they could not even eat. And when his family heard it, they went out to seize him, for they were saying, "He is out of his mind." And the scribes who came down from Jerusalem were saying, "He is possessed by Beelzebub, and by the prince of demons he casts out the demons." And he called them to him and said in parables, "How can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, it cannot stand, and if a house is divided against itself, it cannot stand. And if Satan has risen against himself and is divided, he cannot stand, but will end. But no one can enter a strong man's house and plunder his goods unless he first binds the strong man. Then indeed he may plunder his house. Truly I say to you, all sins will be forgiven the children of man. And whatever blasphemies they utter, but whoever blasphemes the Holy Spirit never has forgiveness, but is guilty of an eternal sin. For they were saying he has an unclean spirit. And his mother and his brothers came, and standing outside they sent and called him. And a crowd was sitting around him, and they said to him, "Your mother and your brothers are outside, seeking you." And he answered them, "Who are my mother and brothers?" And looking about at those who sat around him, he said, "Here are my mother and brothers, for whoever does the will of God, he is my brother and sister and my